Last time on Total Drama Luxury Tour, Kodiak Island, Alaska. It is here our Jacktars embrace the lumberjack lifestyle. They chopped down trees, ran down rivers, sawed some boards, and built themselves a shack. Ezekiel won the captains a lead, only to cost them it later. In the end, the admirals got their first victory, and the captains placed second yet again. The rabid skippers voted who they wanted out of there. But interestingly, we got our first tiebreaker. Justin and Alejandro did a lumberjack-style flex-off, and thanks to Justin's attraction from the animal kingdom, he finally sent the Latin archenemy to an early elimination. Boy, I did not see that one coming. Who will be sent home this time? Find out here on Total Drama Luxury Tour. Cut to the rabid skippers. The Izzy Brigade enjoys having at the supply crate in the lobby of their newly renovated interior due to their victory at Naka Mine. "How's the pie?" Izzy asks Noah as he takes his first bite. "Delicious." Noah proudly responds while rehashing on his alliance victory over Alejandro. Suddenly, the team turns and notices Tyler walking down from the upper deck when he was supposed to be steering the ship. Just getting some extra layers of clothes for the cold outside, Tyler nervously said as he runs to his cabin. "Wow, looks like the rest of the team are intimidated by our alliance," Justin informs his bookworm friend. Noah and his alliance took down Alejandro. "I am sure they aren't happy that the rest of us took his side. How am I going to protect myself and Lindsay?" Tyler worried. Noah looked at the camera in surprise. "Me? Feared? Is this what it's like in Al and Heather's shoes? I have to say, I'd be lying if I said I didn't like this." Cut to the killer captains. Everyone was getting chilly due to the ship sailing towards colder regions. Cody looked through the ship window and sadly stared at the admiral boat. He breathed on the window glass and with his finger, wrote Cody Gwen, then drew a heart around the words. Cody sighed. "I still can't get over Gwen. But I would never selfishly sabotage her relationship with another guy. I guess I can only wait and hope she sees what a jerk he is, and maybe consider testing the waters with me afterwards." Suddenly, the violet-haired stalker grabbed Cody during his train of thought and proceeded to squeeze. "Oh Teddy, Cody, it's so cold. Cuddle with me and keep me warm," Sierra asked while refusing to wait for an answer first. "Damn it," Heather yells as she walks into the lobby where Cody and Sierra were sitting. The jacuzzi is frozen solid. Heather was also carrying Cody Jr., while he was wrapped up tight in a spare shirt. Also, Sierra, stop strangling Cody and help figure out how to warm up the entire team. You don't seem to mind Trent holding Katie over there. That's different. How so? Because, well, I thought so, Sierra taunted as she blew Heather a raspberry, to the queen bee's dismay. Sierra continues to squeeze the life out of the Gap-toothed Geek. Trent and Katie just ignore the bickering duo and continue to warm each other up. Cut to the screaming admirals. The entire team, except for Ava, who is manning the ship, huddles in the lobby. Gwen warms up in Duncan's arms, Harold in Leshona's, and Jeff in DJ's in the most just friends way possible. "Hey ladies, we're there," Ava called to her team. "How can you take this cold?" Jeff asked the hulking woman. "It's just cold," Ava apathetically responds. The ships park in the icy banks of an area they are all too familiar with. The Yukon. Once again, Chris, Chef, and the interns await them. "Welcome again, Gobs, to the Yukon. Decide on a title for us contestants yet," Noah sarcastically remarked. Chris rummages through his thesaurus and throws it in the icy ocean. "Anyways, this time here at the Yukon, the challenge will be much different. Also, I would like to ask Bridget to refrain from making out with any poles this time around." Bridget only glared at him. Chef then drives a forklift carrying a massive crate with ruffling sounds in it. "What's in the box?" Ezekiel asks. "I'll get to that in a minute," Chris informs. "If you all recall that last time you all were here, I ordered winter jackets for all of you to wear. So good news, they just arrived." Everyone cheers except Sierra, who eyes Chris suspiciously. "You set us up for optimism. How do you intend on breaking us down?" "What, can't a host feel sympathetic for his contestants once in a while?" "Not you." "Touché," Chris conceded, "because you all will consider these jackets your only protection from what you all will have to deal with in this crate." Everyone gulps while putting on their winter jackets. Chris releases the large crate and a pack of timber wolves run out of them. Their sadistic host, wasting no time, jumps on the forklift with Chef, while the contestants run from the wild canines. Are you completely insane? Heather screams as she runs from the wolves. Like a fox, or in this case, a wolf, Chris proudly answers. While you all are running, I would like to point out that there are 3 leashes for your teams made specifically for dog sledding, and whichever team gets all the leash collars used first wins the advantage for the second part of the challenge. Just when you thought Chris couldn't get any more sociopathic, Gwen muttered. Bridget scoffed, I am just glad El Jerkdro is not here to distract me this time. Cut to the screaming admirals. Can't you train them with a round object? Duncan asked his goth girlfriend. I tried, Gwen answered as she ran from them with the delinquent. They apparently aren't as trainable and inbred as Corgis. Cut to the killer captains. Cody screamed as 3 wolves chase after the geek through the tundra. Immediately, the Fangirl, Sierra, jumps in front of them and imitates the alpha hound, aggressively defending her territory. With a loud growl, she intimidates the other 3 as they whimper and back off. Cut to the rabid skippers. The wolves that are chasing the skippers suddenly surround them all. Nice, doggies, Tyler nervously said. They all eye Justin as the winter jacket brings focus to the model's chiseled figure. Justin, Noah was about to ask of the model, why me? The model sadly questions right before the wolves tackle the hunk and proceed to affectionately lick his face. Furry strapped the collars on them. While they're distracted, Noah instructed his team. The rabid skippers waste little time in putting the collars on the wolves while they were slobbering over Justin's face. Cut to the screaming admirals. Ava takes the leash and one by one. She wrestles down each wolf and fastened the collars on each one she grabs. Duncan smirked. She's pretty useful when it's not our necks she's after. I wrestled bigger, Ava nonchalantly stated. Cut to the screaming admirals. After narrowly tacking each wild dog, the admirals are the third to secure the wolves on the leash. Or most of them. There's one vacant collar, Ezekiel pointed out. We got our last one, Heather corrected the homeschool. What are you talking about there? The rest of the wolves are already leashed, the Zeke reminded the queen bee, as she grins heavily at him. This is not cool, Ezekiel screams as he is leashed with the wolves. One wolf sniffs the homeschool and immediately recognized him as kin. When will she ever forgive me for that $1 million incident? I said I was sorry, Ezekiel complained. Courtney scoffed. I'm just glad it's not me pulling this time. Looks like the skippers get the advantage with the actual dogsled. The other teams will just have to settle with the little kiddie snow sleds. We get the same disadvantage as the third placers, Eva asked angrily. I never said second place gets an advantage, Chris reminded as the muscle woman growled. The teams hopped on their cramped sleds as they prepare for the next part of their challenge. Okay, Chris continues. For the next part of the challenge, we will be having ourselves a dog sled race. Wolf edition, you will all have to mush your wild canine companions, including Ezekiel, in between each pair of flagpoles, which will direct you to the next pair. As you can see, the first pair of flagpoles are red while the rest are green. The poles will lead you to a lap around the Yukon track. You will all have to go through the track 3 times and finish first to avoid elimination. Beware everyone, there are lots of obstacles waiting for you during this challenge. And one more thing, I don't normally tell all of you the reward to your ship if your team wins. But to instigate more ruthless competition, I must reveal it. Our cruise ship will be crossing the Arctic Circle after this destination, and I would love to inform all of you that the reward will be a furnace heater for your ship. You will greatly appreciate the warmth. With our hot tub out of commission, we are going to need the heat, Heather stated. Gwen sighed. I don't like getting overly competitive over material rewards, but I really hate the cold. Perhaps I should have had Tyler pull for us as well, Noah decided. Chris brings all 3 wolf sleds to the starting line. On your mark, get set, mush. The team sleds start to move as the leashed wolves drag them through the track. Cut to the rabid admirals. We got the best sled. This race is ours. Noah cheered. You said it, Noah. Izzy added. Lead us all the way, team captain. Justin also added. Yeah, team captain. Sadie nervously added as well. Sadie looked at the camera with a worried expression. Okay, last time I ratted his alliance out to Alejandro. Does Noah hold a grudge? The skipper pack continues to take the lead due to their sled advantage. Cut to the killer captains. The captains and admirals are neck and neck. Come on, captains, give us another win. Heather ordered Ezekiel, put some leg muscle into it. Maybe if I had more motivation, Ezekiel shot back. Oh, I'll give you motivation, all right. Heather grins as she pulls out her infamous whip from the sled. Oh, Homeschool gulped. Cut to the screaming admirals. The admirals fall behind as the captain's Heather whips the lead dog, Ed Prairie Boy, to get him to run faster. Where did she get a whip? Gwen angrily asked. We've got to find a way to go faster, gosh, Harold shouted. As the slide continues onward, Duncan grabs it. Doris, fork over your yo-yo, the delinquent then ordered as the nerd hesitantly complied. One more thing, Duncan tore Harold's tighty whities clean off to use as bait for the wolves like a carrot on a stick. You're gonna let him do this? Harold asks Gwen. Gwen shrugs. We want to win, don't we? The wolves were attracted to the underpants and ran faster for them. Cut to the rabid admirals. They'll never catch up to us. This challenge is ours. Justin applauded his team. What's that over there? Tyler asks his team. The snow trail ahead of them turns to a long strip of pure ice that bridges a freezing cold ocean. As the wolves try to tread over it without sliding off, Noah nervously tries to navigate them through it. A frozen bridge. You'd think Chris wanted most of us to stay alive at least until the later challenges, Noah commented. They didn't think it would be that easy, did they? What other obstacles did Chef and I plant for our wolf sledders? Find out here on Total Drama Luxury Tour. And we're back. We joined our matalots after I threw them out to the wolves. Actually, make that vice versa. Each team had to strap on dog sled leashes onto their collars to win the advantage for their team. In the end, the skippers won said advantage, the actual dog sled. Who will win the race? Find out here on Total Drama Luxury Tour. Cut to the rabid skippers. Noah leads his team and their wolves across the ice bridge. Easy boys. The bookworm tries to keep his wolves calm while they are sliding around the slippery ice. The other teams are ganging on us, Justin warned. Cut to the screaming admirals. Once again, neck and neck with a whipped Ezekiel versus an underwear on a stick advantage. The captains and the admirals compete to avoid third place. Is that bridge made of ice? Jeff nervously asked. Chris, that's sadistic. Duncan was cut off as his team starts sliding side to side as the wolves dragged their snow sled around. Cut to the killer captains. Move it, homeschool, Heather barked. I have no experience in skating, Ezekiel cried out before he slipped on the ice and sent the whole pack slipping down the icy slope with him. Cut to the rabid skippers. We made it. Lindsay cheered as their dog sled is pulled out of the icy bridge. Don't get your hopes up yet, Noah nervously yelled as he tries to navigate the wolf pack through their next obstacle, massive piles of snowbanks. Come on, boys, you all can do it. Justin cheered for the wild canines as they turn to him and get distracted. The pack crashes into one of the large piles of snow. Cut to the screaming admirals. After the admirals and the killer captains get off the ice, they eventually pass the still recovering skippers and both compete against each other while trying not to crash as well. As soon as they both left the snowbank obstacle, they see strange metal towers ahead of them. What are those? DJ asked as the metal towers immediately start pelting him with snowballs, knocking him off the sled. DJ, Gwen shouts out in concern. Chris drives by the sleds on a snowmobile. Those are my snowball cannons. By the way, remember, your entire team must cross the finish pair of poles for it to count. The team grumbles out of anger and navigates their wolf pack backwards to go retrieve their teammate. What have I done? Oh man, if we lose this one I am toast, DJ muttered. Cut to the killer captains. We have the lead. Sierra cheered, then immediately ducked from the oncoming snowballs. The team ducks and dodges each snowball cannon and eventually pulled out of the third obstacle. What is he going to do to us next? Bridget asked nervously. As the team is pulled further down the track, they see a bunch of snowmen standing before them. Snowman? Cody asked. Snowman with surprises. Chris finishes for him as his snowmobile passes. The sadistic host threw a snowball at one and it triggered a large explosion. Hehe, good luck. The team tries their best not to hit one of the explosive snowmen while navigating their wolf pack. Cut to the rabid skippers. The team finally recovered and caught up with the admirals while they were retrieving DJ. Since the skipper's actual dog sled was faster than the admiral's kiddie snow sled, the former managed to pass the latter as both teams got to the exploding snowman obstacle. Cut to the killer captains. Almost through, Trent assured the team as they reached the end of the snowman obstacle. As if on cue, as Ezekiel narrowly avoided the final snowman, the sled itself recoiled and hit one on the backside. The Frozen Man replica exploded and sent the sled flying. Just passing the finish pair of poles. We did it. Katie cheered while hugging Trent. Chris mentioned to the captains. That was lap 1. You've got to be kidding. Heather angrily shot at her host. I told you before, now I'd keep moving. Here comes the other teams, Chris pointed out as the rabid skippers passed the captains. Regaining the first place, the killer captains quickly recover and keep up their lead against the admirals. Cut to the rabid skippers. Woot, first place, here we come, Tyler joyfully announced. We're not out of this yet, Noah reminded. Here comes the ice bridge again. Cut to the screaming admirals. There's gotta be a way to hurry up this stupid thing, Eva shouted while frustrated. I have an idea, Harold suggested. Duncan, do you have a pair of knives? A pair, Duncan scoffs as he hands the nerd 2 of his many knives. Harold pulls the laces from his shoes and turns to Ava. Ava, tie these knives to the bottom of your shoes. Lift the sled from behind, and we can skate across the ice bridge faster. This better work, Ava said, reluctant to try this plan. Cut to the killer captains. The lifted admiral sled skidded past the captains to the team's dismay. Ugh, pick it up, Ezekiel, Heather screamed once again at the prairie boy. Cut to the rabid skipper. The skipper sled continues to lead as they reach near the end of the snowbank obstacle. Is that snowbank over there moving? Lindsay asked as they get nearer and nearer to the strange snow pile. That's not a snowbank, Noah said. That's a polar bear. The wolf pack crashes into the white-furred beast. The bear is sent flying on top of the team's sled as they slide around out of control. Cut to the screaming admirals. The admirals and the captains pass the distracted skippers and once again dodging the snowball cannon. The distance between the pair of sleds gets closer and closer as the duo races into the snowman obstacle. Come on team, let's beat those ladies, Duncan taunted the closing in captains. Courtney finally hatched a plan to sabotage her ex by standing up and saying, Duncan has a birthmark on his butt the shape of a heart. What? I do not, Duncan angrily denied. However, the distraction made him drop his underwear on a stick, and the wolves immediately stopped and consumed the undergarments. The captains then passed the team and finished lap 2. These mutts are getting on my nerves, Eva growls angrily. Let's move it, boys, Duncan orders his wolves as they finish the underwear and continue on. Cut to the killer captains. One more lap to go. We can do this, captains. Trent cheered. So, out of breath. A physically exhausted Ezekiel says as he continues to run with the pack. Cody had an idea as he pulled out from his pocket a packet of his kissing mints. He pours the contents on the snow after they reach the ice bridge. Cut to the screaming admirals. As the admirals finish lap 2, the wolves then see the mints left for them by the geek. They immediately stop and begin eating those as well. Ugh, can't you stupid mutts get anything right? Eva screamed at them. The wolves immediately detected hostility and tackled the muscle woman. Had to happen to us, Duncan scoffed. Cut to the killer captains. The team manages their new lead greatly, and while quickly avoiding each obstacle, they finally finish their final lap. Victory to the killer captains, Chris announced. Yes, hello Furnace, my name is Heather. The queen bee happily cheered. Let's see who comes in second, the host continues. Cut to the screaming admirals. The team recovers from the morale issue and gets closer to the finish line. Suddenly, out of nowhere, the rabid skippers jet past them thanks to the latest addition to their sled team, the polar bear. Justin happily rides on his new companion, and they quickly cross the finish line. And the skippers come in second, Chris announced. As for the admirals, I'll see you on your ship. Cut to the killer captains. Exhausted to a breather, Ezekiel finally collapsed as the team went into their ships. Come on, hurry up, Heather barks with Courtney at the interns who are installing the furnace in the cold ship. It's gonna be so nice to have that thing working, Bridget happily said. Bah, Cody is all the warmth I need, Sierra responded while tightly hugging the geek. A little tighter than usual, Cody tried his best to say from the vice grip of his stalker. The surfer girl couldn't help but feel annoyed by watching Sierra. I don't think he enjoys that, Bridget finally says. Sierra turns to her slowly. What business of it is yours? I just don't think he feels comfortable, Bridget nervously spoke out. You're just jealous that you don't have Jeff here to cuddle with, the Fangirl shot back. Oh yeah, Bridget hesitantly responded, that's it. Bridget looked somewhat surprised. That was actually the first time I even thought of Jeff today. I did think about breaking up with him, but I fear it would devastate him. Bridget and Heather seemed to be acting really weird when Sierra was with me being, well, Sierra, Cody commented. Cut to the rabid skippers. Great leadership skills, Noah. Tyler sucked up to the brains of the Izzy Brigade. Sorry, we ever doubted you, Sadie also added while slowly backing away to her cabin. Cadet Izzy is impressed by how much influence Noah has on the team. The psychopath complimented in third person. Yeah, I guess it feels good, Noah hesitantly but modestly confessed. Noah sighed. I guess I should be happy about this. but really it just puts a bull's eye on my head by the other teams. But if my team listens to my words of wisdom, this could work. Cut to the screaming admirals. Chris walks to the group on their ship. Admirals, welcome back to the sardine ceremony. We will once again be seeing who will be walking the infamous plank of shame. Normally, this would be the part where we milk out suspense to see who is being sent home. But when it comes to Ava, there is no suspense. What? Ava angrily shouted. Sorry, Ava. It's your time, Chris announced as he threw Ava her life jacket. You will regret this. You all will. She angrily yells as Chris pushes her off the plank of shame. The brutes falls into the icy cold ocean and shivers uncontrollably. It's just cold, Duncan mocked. I didn't vote her. I thought I was going for falling off the sled earlier, DJ admitted. Duncan shrugged. Her anger problems always were a liability. Chris jumps on the chopper being driven by Chef. That makes 4 eliminations. Who will walk the plank next? Find out here on Total Drama Luxury Tour. Now Chef, fly me to a habitable climate. Chef rolls his eyes and flies off. To be honest, this particular pair of chapters was not my favourite. I suppose I could call this one filler, but rest assured, the next chapter pair will more than make up for it.
She